All right. We'll get started here momentarily. I don't have a may I have a gavel?
Sure.
Hey, thanks.
I thought maybe you were giving it to me for some reason.
At this point, go right ahead.
So where'd you go today?
We went to Amber Cove, Grand Turk, and oh my God, what was the third place? Oh, it was a private island. It was a Half Moon Key. It was a Carnival cruise.
Was this a cabin choice? Yeah.
We got suckered in by a bunch of friends. It was all good though. It's all good. It was good to go. All right. Are you ready? Everybody ready?
Yes.
All right. I'd like to call the Oglesby City Council meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Baldridge. Cullinan.
Here.
McDermott.
Here.
Moyle. Here. Curran.
Here. Number 3, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You have a very unique way of saying that.
What's that?
Number 4, public comment on agenda items only. Seeing there's none, we'll move on. Number 5, approve minutes from the April 7th, 2025 regular session. If there's no additions, corrections, or modifications, can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Baldridge.
Aye.
Cullinan.
Aye.
McDermott.
Aye.
Moyle.
Aye.
Curran.
Number 6, approve bills presented for payment in the amount of $58,865.40. That is really low, even for an off time of not having to pay the electric. Just how it floated.
It's just the way it, yeah.
That number almost looked like it was missing a 1 in front of it.
Yeah. I believe the biggest thing we have on there is just our garbage collection, which is 65,000.
Yeah.
So
That's interesting. Okay. If there's no comments, corrections, or modifications, can I get a motion to approve the bills?
actually, hold on. It is really low. Because, I mean, it does say in the
Right.
bills, if something's not, I don't know if it's not, maybe I'm looking at it wrong. So it has the garbage collection on there for 65,000, but is that not
Oh, you know
factored
what?
into the?
I bet that shows checks that were canceled.
Oh, okay.
So there's no other way to pull that report off without that.
When you said 65.
Yeah, I was about to say, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. No,
I'm
no,
looking
no.
at it, I'm like,
Yeah, I didn't,
Okay.
yeah, I didn't remember the number.
So
What do we want to do then? Do we want to?
why don't we wait until Monday and approve the bills and I'll give you the correct total? I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
We are going to have an executive session tonight because of stuff with the union that kind of came up. Do we want to move it to the last item and then we'll take a little bit of time? Or how long do you think it'll take to find the right number?
I think Becky
Need some
suggested
time.
next
Yeah.
Monday.
Next Monday.
Need some time. Okay. All right. Well then,
Make a motion to table the bills till Monday.
I'll second that motion.
roll call, table the bills.
Baldridge.
Aye.
Cullinan.
Aye.
McDermott.
Aye.
Moyle.
Aye.
Curran.
Aye. Probably need a better accounting method to catch that. Just going, that number looks really low. All right. Number 7, approve payroll for March 28th, 2025 in the amount of $46,721.06. If there's no additions, corrections, or modifications to the payroll, can I get a motion to approve
I move we pay the bills.
the payroll?
Second.
Sorry, I move that we pay the payroll,
Payroll.
in the amount of $46,721.06.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Baldridge.
Aye.
Cullinan.
Aye.
McDermott.
Aye.
Moyle.
Aye.
Curran.
Aye. Number 8, old business. No items listed. Number 9, new business. Wastewater treatment plant access road. McDermott.
All right. We got to put in an access road. We got a bid from Pohar of $19,320. However, we might run into some other issues and like, let's see, remove 4 inch of vegetarian roadway. Okay. A 6 inch crush run and a 4 inch CA6 stone. And they're saying that if they need extra, it'll run up to 25,310. We're not looking to actually spend the 25,310, but it's always good to have your ducks in a row. And if we actually need it, then go ahead and continue working on the road. The issue is this is on ground that they're unfamiliar what's underneath and everything else. And we're going to have semis on this road back and forth. So I'm asking to get approval of the 25,310, and then just in case if we do need it. If we don't, then we're not going to use it. But if they start working on it and found out there was other issues, then they would have to stop. And we're on a time frame already.
I would suggest, Mac, you make a motion to approve Fauhar's proposal to a maximum amount of 25,310.
Right. That's what I'm looking at. Just in case, it doesn't mean we're going to use it, but otherwise we got the other bid for 19,320.
Makes sense. We'll go around the room here. Baldridge, you have any comments?
I agree. We're not going to shut the job down for $6,000.
Second.
Well, if anybody has any comments. Moyle, Jim?
I agree.
Yeah, makes sense. Appreciate that. Let's get the authorization, whatever you need to do to not hold something up as long as it's logistical. So, all right.
Okay.
So did you make a motion?
Then I'd like to make a motion that we propose to do the bid of 25,310 total for the road, the street, for the wastewater treatment plant,
Second.
Up to.
up to 25,310.
Okay, sounds good. And I believe there's a second for that. Roll call, please.
Baldridge.
Aye.
Cullinan.
Aye.
McDermott.
Aye.
Moyle.
Aye.
Curran.
Aye. B, extend intergovernmental agreement with IVCC for school resource officer. Moyle.
So this year we are in a contract negotiation for FOP, the police officer. So we want to make sure our IVCC agreement reflects if there's a wage increase. Part, from what I understand, Pat, is that they must have an agreement on file. Ours is up to expire for liability purposes, correct?
I would say so.
Okay. So this agreement just extends it month to month until we get the union contract negotiated
At the same rate.
at the same rate, yes.
We'll go around the room. McDermott.
Well, I'm all for it. It's a good way to protect the school and the students. It's what we need.
Baldridge.
My only concern is, will that be retroactive to any changes? Because I know the taxpayers will be on the line for the retroactive pay increase. So would that be reflected to the college at that point?
Well, there's nothing retroactive about this agreement, Rich. This starts May 1st and will continue to run as they've been paying you for now.
Okay.
The minute you get a new agreement, I think is the minute we give them a 15-day termination notice, which is what this allows for, and then start to renegotiate something different.
And we could put retroactive in the new agreement.
And you could.
Question.
So
The 15 days always bothered me. I told you guys that the last time, but the college seems anxious to get this approved.
But if we put, so if our union contracts, I don't anticipate we'll have the union contracts totally done by their expiration. If we make this retroactive, it's the college that's paying for this position, right? So then they would be paying whatever.
Yeah, it's not going to be retroactive. It will only become retroactive if you
If it's-
negotiate another new
Yes,
agreement.
but the burden of pay would fall on the college though still.
Right. Under
Okay.
this agreement, the burden of pay is exactly the same
Mhm.
as it is for, it's not very artfully phrased. Let's see, where was that language? I circled it. Continue on a month-to-month basis unless termination shall occur as below on the same cost invoiced to IVCC during the preceding months of 2025. I would think the invoice has to change every month, isn't it, Ben? Is it the same every month?
Would have to.
I mean, depending upon the number of hours worked or whatever, doesn't it change every month? So I thought that was kind of
I don't handle that
inartfully
invoice,
phrased,
I'm
but-
not sure.
Yeah, but at any rate, it will not be retroactive under this agreement. It will be incumbent on you to terminate this agreement once you have another union agreement in place that you have a new number to work on.
Right.
But once we have another union agreement in place, that was the agreement we were working under until we get to that point. in that case, is the city, because they're paying for this school resource officer, would the burden fall on us to pay that retroactive pay as opposed to the college? Because that wasn't part of this
It
agreement.
would unless you negotiate something different with the college in the new agreement. And I assume you're gonna negotiate in the labor agreement that it's gonna be retroactive to May 1st, because it probably won't be approved by then.
That's
So when
standard.
you negotiate the new contract with the college, you're gonna have to ask them to be retroactive to that same date.
So our union contracts are not automatically retroactive. We agree to that.
Yeah.
That way it gives everybody the
Sure.
time to do the things that we do. So that agreement doesn't, now keep in mind, that's also the first agreement the city ever had. And, you know, that we had. So another reason to get, once we get all the union pay stuff resolved and everything like that, I would love to see if there's a way that we can somehow modify that one time to where it's a pass through forever. You know what I mean? So that way, whatever pay increases happen or something like that, we're just passing that directly through to the cost to
I
the
think that
college.
would be something good to shoot for. in the-
Yeah, so that way this doesn't have to come up every couple of years and then wait for a time frame or something like that. It'd be worth to put the extra time.
But to answer your question, Austin, the city's on the hook
Mhm.
for the new pay that you're gonna pay your officer employees. And this does not require the college to pay that back to you. That would be something you'd have to negotiate with them in the new agreement with them.
This agreement that we have now, though, that this extension agreement goes on in perpetuity, though, correct?
On a month-to-month basis.
Yeah.
On
So-
15 days notice of termination from either
Yeah.
party.
With the understanding that we're gonna change it when we get the contract result.
And I
Yeah,
think
that's-
that's the college's understanding.
Okay.
Whether they're understanding that they're gonna have to pay retroactive pay at a higher rate to May 1st is something I've not discussed.
Okay.
Is your fear that this wouldn't ever get changed? Is that what your fear is?
Well, my fear is that we'd be on the hook for the retroactive pay.
Well,
I say in an effort to show good faith to the college, we've been through enough with them right now. I think that we should proceed with this tonight and
Yeah. No, no.
worry about this at a later time if need be.
Yeah,
Sure.
so
I
we
mean-
had our first meeting with the FOP today. That one's moving along. You know, my goal is hopefully we'll wrap that up as quick as we can, and then it'll be on us to negotiate the thing with the college, so hopefully it won't be very long.
Well, they have to have something on file, so I'm fine with that.
Okay? There's no other comments? I'm going to motion to approve the extension.
I will make a motion to approve the extension with IVCC for the school resource officer.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call, please.
Aldrich.
Aye.
Cullinan.
Aye.
McDermott.
Aye.
Moyle.
Aye.
Kern.
C, place bids for phase 1 of the wastewater treatment plant on file. McDermott.
Okay, let me open up a little. Okay. Okay, I'd like to place on file the bids for phase 1 of wastewater treatment plant with Visoring Contracting Company of Streeter, Illinois, with the total bid price of $22,722,251.
Million,
Million.
Huh?
Million.
Million.
22 million.
Okay, 22 million.
251.
Right.
Would have been a nice
Okay.
burden.
Yeah, it's a lot of numbers, guys. I'd like to make a motion that we
Well,
approve their bid.
Let's go around and give everybody an opportunity if they want to make a comment. Aldrich?
Yeah.
I don't know what comment we could make.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Well,
No comment.
we had, it looks like we had 3 bids in, 22.7, 24.8, and 26.1. So those are the 3 bids. So
Right.
just give everybody the range of what they are. So it's what it is. So, all right, there's no other further comments. Make a motion to put some up.
Yeah, I think the motion is to place them on file. Matt,
That's correct.
Not to approve it.
Okay. Then I'll do that. I'll make a motion to place on file the bids for the wastewater treatment plant. Is that all I need then? I guess?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Aldrich.
Aye.
Cullinan.
Aye.
McDermott.
Aye.
Moyle.
Aye.
2 million.
Kern.
Aye. D, we are Oglesby Street closure request, September 13th, 2025, car show. We'll go around if anybody's got any comments. Cullinan?
No, I don't have any comments. As I said, I believe it was at the last meeting. I love it when either private businesses or private organizations take this sort of initiative to do different things to bring people into our town. So I know in the letter as well, there's a request for a few other things besides just specifically street closure. But I'm totally on board with those things as well. I think Are Oglesby does a great job, and they're a great asset to our city.
Well,
I think it's great. The date is September 13th, 2025. So anyone at home who's interested when the car show is. But I think it's a great idea.
all right, McDermott?
Well, I'm glad to see Are Oglesby doing this. We could have run into an issue not having a car show this year. I'm actually for it. Thank you, Are Oglesby, and let's get it done.
Aldrich. Yeah, as Commissioner McDermott just stated, we were in jeopardy of not having a car show this year as we've had for the past few years. We do appreciate that, to have it downtown and bring people and tourists to the town. And I would like to thank Are Oglesby for putting forth the effort to continue this tradition.
So similar thing, I think I've talked about this in the past. Anytime you can get organizations to be stepping up, to be doing things in the city, that's fantastic. It really is. It takes a lot of the burden off the city. So having an organization that wants to do that, I want to make sure that we give them as much support as we can, whether that's just a few employees to help close streets or whatever we can do, because we used to have employees be running this, coordinating it, trying to get vendors and all kinds of stuff like that. So having an outside organization wanting to do that, we should encourage that as much as possible. So it's fantastic. If we can get a motion to close the street for the car show.
I'll make a motion that we close the street for the car show September 13th, 2025.
I'll second.
Roll call,
Thank
please.
you.
Baldridge.
Aye.
Cullinan.
Aye.
McDermott.
Aye.
Moyle.
Aye.
Kern.
Aye. Number 10, public comment on any topic.
Hello, Brandy.
Hello.
You're on, Brandon.
Two things bring me here tonight to speak. Last meeting in the mayor's report, Jason expressed his disappointment again in our town and confusion as to why we didn't vote for the change of government. Next was the very short notice special meeting held in Princeton to the apparent shock and confusion to employees and townsfolk alike to discuss the termination of their city manager, in which nearly 100 people went to. There was a YouTube video from the city of Princeton for those who might want to check out what happened. Lately, I've watched with growing alarm as our mayor continues to bypass the very council meant to keep our local government balanced and fair. He was elected to lead with the council, not around it. But instead of collaboration, we're seeing control. And instead of transparency, we're seeing backdoor decisions and a disturbing pattern of divisive tactics that pit neighbors against each other. This isn't just politics, it's a failure of leadership. How is our council supposed to work as a team when their voices are dismissed and their roles are diminished? And more importantly, how is our town supposed to grow, build, and thrive under leadership that prioritizes power over people? We deserve better than this. Our community deserves leadership that listens, includes, and respects the process, not one that isolates and divides. We need unity, not division, progress, not posturing. And it starts by holding those in power accountable. We can't move forward until we demand better. And I'm standing here to say, I demand better. And I think many other people do too. I think it's time that we see some accountability for your actions regarding how you treat the council and how you treat the town. That's all.
Any other comments? Seeing none, we'll move on. Number 11, Commissioner.
We do.
Angie Partridge. So I want to say thank you for approving the road closure for the car show. And my main purpose for standing up here tonight is because I feel like I've talked to each of you at some point or another about We Are Oglesby. Maybe you've come to our meetings. Hopefully you follow us on Facebook. But this is our third year, and we are growing by leaps and bounds. And we have continued to want to build a relationship with the city of Oglesby. We've been very fortunate with several department heads that work with us to be able to have different things that we put on. But I have been asking for a meeting with you, Mayor Curran, and it hasn't happened. And at this point, I would like to talk about having all the commissioners and have a meeting with everyone and let everyone hear like what we are about. You know, we're our second year of $1,000 grant that we gave out in the community. We have our third year of cleaning up Memorial Park. And we are also going to be landscaping down at Lehigh Stage. So I just really want to see everyone come together and understand and recognize that to have a nonprofit like you do in town is so important. And sometimes I feel like we are dismissed as an organization doing great things. And Becky, I thank you. You've been wonderful, City Hall girls, and the commissioners that do support us. So if at all possible, we could set up a time to have the council and our board meet. I don't really believe that's an OMA issue because there would be no city decisions that we would expect anyone to make. We're just asking to all be in the same place and be able to advance in a more professional and formal way.
I do think, Angie, it would take a special meeting to accomplish that.
That's okay.
If all of the commissioners are going to be discussing city business, it has to be a special meeting.
This is more us presenting to them like what we stand for, what we do, what our plans are, what we have done. Just to really understand that, you know, we are an established organization and we have some really great things happening this year. And sometimes going via email or relying on Facebook is not, you know, probably the best for us to all, you know, come together and advance. So, and again, if it's a special meeting, that is fine.
It doesn't have to be a special meeting. You could just be put on the agenda for a regular meeting to discuss those things.
That would be
But I
great.
think that's the
Yeah.
appropriate way to do it.
Okay.
I wish I had an easier way to get around that for you, but I can't see one.
No, that is completely fine. We would be absolutely fine with that, you know, so, thank you.
Thank you. Just for some clarity on that, 'cause I think there might be some miscommunication on that. So when we took over for this council, I tried to get with the We Are Oglesby for well over a year. Matter of fact, I reached out every quarter. In fact, after a year, I think I got an email that's back from their president and vice president that says, thank you so much for reaching out to us. We recognize that you've done your due diligence, but we don't need a meeting at this time. Then about 2 months ago, when I talked about it publicly, I did have the new board reach out to me, and there was an attempt to get one meeting together. I did show up for that, but apparently I did not RSVP via email. So that was my fault for that. So, but there was one meeting in the last month that we did not get together on it. So if
For
you want to,
clarity, for clarity.
go ahead, I have the email up there to show you.
Yeah.
For clarity.
So that's what happened.
So I did not mean for this to be like any kind of a contentious topic about the request for the meeting. I know that
Thank you.
you've been very busy. I know everybody is. But I did reach out. I emailed you. You responded back with some things that you thought that you would like to talk about. We offered you 2 different dates, I believe it was. And then we heard no more from you. And one of the dates was March 19th, which was the same night that a plan commission meeting ended up being scheduled. I was here, obviously, you were here. You approached me afterwards and thought we were meeting. And I said, you did not respond to me.
You're correct, I did not.
Okay, which is fine. It happens.
I
And
thought I
then
did.
you responded after that and apologized. And I immediately responded with another date. And we still have not heard back. So again, I understand there is a lot going on in the city, but it did make us realize that we actually want to take it to a broader level, not just yourself. We'd like to have
Sure.
the council.
Well, on the 20th, I was going to talk about this in the mayor's report. On the 28th, we are having a special meeting. There's only going to be one official business item, which is the IVC annexation thing right at the beginning. The rest of the meeting is discussion-based items for open discussion. So if you'd like to, we can put a topic on there for that, and we can even do it then if that's
That
what
would
you'd
be
like.
great.
Would
And
that
just-
day work?
I want to add that no matter what has happened, Jason, like we continuously try to move forward, and that's all we really want to do. So I don't appreciate when you do say things like you just said previously, acting like we are not trying to set up a meeting or you only reached out once. And I'm sorry, I am going to bring that public right now
Sure.
because it's been an ongoing issue, and I'm tired of us taking the blame like we're not doing something appropriate.
Well, I believe the comment was that you weren't able to get a meeting yet, like you tried. And my point
Yes.
was, I did try for over a year. I have a response that said, thank you for your due diligence.
And we
So-
offered you several meetings to come to one of ours,
That's okay.
okay?
And I did come to one of them.
Let's just be
And
transparent.
I did come to that meeting, didn't I?
You did.
I did.
And so for some reason now you're acting like there's something else that was missing that didn't happen. You failed to mention that at the end of that.
You brought it up,
And-
so.
So would,
Again, we have to move forward,
Hmm.
okay?
Oh,
So
it's
special
obvious.
meeting would
Would
be a
it-
great
yeah,
opportunity.
sure.
Wonderful.
would April 23rd work
Are there
then?
any other public comments?
Well, I mean, I could clarify on the year you were waiting for a meeting.
If you'd like to come to the podium, you're more than
Sure,
welcome
I
to.
would, because it's the second time
Sure.
you brought it up. So since you keep saying that you tried to get with us for a year during my tenure on We Are Oglesby, we have the email trail that says we submitted a date. That date didn't work for you. So the next email thread states, instead of 5 of us trying to coordinate our schedule to come to your office to hear some ideas, it'd probably be better if you made it to the one meeting where all 5 of us are at every month on the same day at the same time, in which you did.
I
And
did.
it worked out well. But I really don't like you implying that we blew you off for a year before you just decided to come to a meeting.
So the fortunate thing was there wasn't a lot of people at that meeting, but some of the stuff I wanted to discuss with you was not necessarily open for public discussion on items. That's why I didn't want to necessarily do it there at that opportunity.
Well, sure.
So-
And that was resolved by you attending 15 minutes early before
Yep.
the public was there,
And I
and it
did.
was taken care of.
But what I said is still true.
No, it's in fact not true.
Did I get an email from you that said, thank you for your due diligence for attempting? We
Do
recognize
you
you
want me to
tried.
give you the email where it lists the date, Jason, that we tried to make a meeting? And then the follow-up where we said maybe you could come to us instead of 5 people coming to you?
And I said how that wasn't probably not the best idea, but I did it anyways.
Is this being productive? Can we
It's
move
not.
on?
Yeah,
I'm
let's-
just responding to sit here.
Let us
Keep
know
up
what
your
date
live
you guys
voice,
want.
So let's just
Are you
move
done?
on.
Are there any other public comments? All right, seeing there's none, we'll move on. Number 11, Commissioner reports. Commissioner Collins.
Thank you. I checked in with the city clerk today regarding the status of Oglesby Summer Fun Fest. Our office is working on putting everything together. As of right now, all the entertainment and vendors for the event have been lined up. We'll be putting out a more formal notice at some point, but of course, we will be looking for volunteers. Volunteers are really the lifeblood of the event. So if you're interested, please contact City Hall at your convenience. Lastly, regarding Summer Fun Fest, Party in the Park is getting a makeover this year. It will run Sunday afternoon, and we are intending for it to be a family-focused event leading up to the fireworks. Earlier this year, the city agreed to spend, I think it was, I don't remember the exact number off the top of my head, $20-some thousand on
23.5.
23.5 to make some sorely needed updates to our software that effectively runs the city. Clerk Kleinert shared that the software, among other things, allows us to export any information in Excel format, which is required for the Illinois Treasurer's Report, digitizes invoices, and creates an online portal for residents to see their utility bills, among other things. I forgot to include the specific date that the training is occurring in my email, but it's coming up.
Yeah, it's being done in segments. So the first will be with the department heads and the commissioners.
And that date is
The portal, that is this week.
this week. So that's getting off the ground this week. So it's good to know. NCICG the North Central Illinois Council of Governments reached out to us, offering to pitch 2 projects to the office of Congresswoman Lauren Underwood. They asked that we get letters from different stakeholders in the community. I want to thank everyone who submitted a letter, as well as the girls in my office who worked incredibly diligently to compile those letters as well. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes to make the city work, and to be entirely honest, I'm not the one doing it. It's really there's a lot of other people that make things happen, and so I'm very appreciative to them for all they do. Then the last thing, at the last meeting, I made reference to a domain transfer happening with the city's website. Again, we're looking to transfer our current domain from oglesby.il.us to oglesbyil.gov. I reached out to the vendor that designs and hosts our website, and they provided me with the information necessary to get that process started. As of right now, the process is waiting on me to proceed. I would like to get the project done sometime within the next month. So again, watch out for that. You might have to update your bookmarks, but I think it'll be a good thing. I think a .gov domain gives us a lot more credibility. So, but that's all I have for tonight.
All right, thanks. Commissioner Moyle.
Well, this is a perfect night to do this because this is my collaborative effort with We Are Oglesby. Today, I am happy and proud to recognize Officer Spencer Shaw as April's First Responder of the Month. Officer Shaw recently completed his 1-year anniversary and probationary period with distinction. A graduate of Sauk Valley Community College Police Academy, Spencer completed 16 weeks of rigorous training before joining the Oglesby Police Department. Prior to that, he served as a correctional officer at Dixon Correctional Center with the Illinois Department of Corrections. Driven by a passion for community engagement, Officer Shaw made the transition to law enforcement to build a stronger connection with the people he serves. His dedication to Oglesby's community policing model is evident. He's always the first to volunteer for community events and programs and consistently going above and beyond. Known for his integrity, dedication, and strong work ethic, Officer Shaw is an invaluable member of the department. Off duty, he is a proud father to a daughter who inspires him to lead with compassion and strength every day. To celebrate his outstanding service, Officer Shaw will receive a gift card from Two Brothers, proudly sponsored by Bulldogs Bar. Thank you, Officer Shaw, for your commitment to keeping our community safe and connected.
Thanks. Commissioner McDermott.
Congratulations, Officer Shaw. Okay. Bear with me while I open this again. Branch chipping will be the first week in May. So get your branches out on the berm. Do not put them on the roadway. Do not have them on the sidewalk, please. Hydrant flush started today. Please be careful and watch out for workers. I would also like to just remind people you may experience low water pressure and color disfiguration, but should not last long. We will also be returning to the Clark Street to look over issues with ground cover due to sewer separation project. Be patient with us and we'll get it done for you. If you have anything, let me know. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Baldridge.
Happy to announce that the girls softball board received $8,500 from the Elks to improve dugouts and concrete at the Small Girls Diamond.
Thank you.
City workers will pour the pads, and West Costelic and Lee Boreal are volunteering to build the dugouts. I'd like to read a letter that we received from our friends at Axe Church. Over the last 10 years, Axe Church has led a campaign known as Hope Week. The idea of this campaign is to get hundreds of Christians across the Illinois Valley to serve their community radically for 7 days in the summer. Our goal is that these actions inspire the feeling of hope, which is the feeling that something good is going to happen. During these 10 years, they've accomplished 16,629 hours of community service and given away $184,500 worth of projects. We are now setting the plans for Hope Week 2025 and would love to serve in your community once again. Over the past few years, Hope Week has done 1,306.75 hours of community service in Oglesby, and it has been our pleasure doing so. This year, Hope Week will take place June 1st through June 7th. We will be reaching out to contacts from your community to make plans starting this month, but you are the people who know what your community needs more than anyone else. Would you consider taking a few minutes to read this letter at your upcoming city council meeting and even discuss potential projects in a public or closed session? We would love to hear your ideas you might have for Hope Week projects for this year or years in the future. Common projects in the past have been cleanups, refurbishing city parks, painting curbs, repairing baseball diamonds, or even installing new playground equipment. We have also done work on city buildings, libraries, and fire stations. We match talent to projects and never take on a project we cannot safely accomplish. If there are questions we can answer, we would be glad to take phone calls from the city council, mayor, or city workers. If you think you would be beneficial, we would also be more than willing to attend a council meeting in April or May to discuss plans. Thank you, and we look forward to serving your community once again. Warmest regards, Pastor Cameron Graper and Ethan Salander, Hope Week Director. Ex-church contacted the Parks Department last week, and he gave them a plan of ideas: painting the park equipment at Lehigh, staining the Lehigh stage, staining the dock at McDermott, painting picnic tables at Lehigh, and shelter posts. They have asked for any ideas and volunteers to help. Please consider lending a hand. I'd like to personally thank ex-church and anyone who has helped or will be helping in the future. The progress they've made has been very noticeable and helpful in keeping our city looking better and safer every year. An update on the solar project field over by 3rd Street behind the fire department. IMEA will be here to witness test the solar site Friday afternoon. It should be up and producing power very soon thereafter. We thank everyone involved for their efforts and hard work that went into completing this valuable asset. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Number 12, mayor's report. First thing is, yes, I'd like to thank all those that brought in letters of support. I mean, we had heads of organizations, heads of professional organizations, volunteer organization, and even a whole bunch of residents and stuff. So really appreciate that. Hope that'll go a long way with our legislators to see if we can get some much needed support. The other thing I want to talk about is there is a special meeting on the 28th. There's only one official business item that's actually going to be taken care of there. That is the IVC annexation. The reason for that is at 5:45, I believe, is we have our official hearing, and then at 6 p.m. will be the actual meeting. So that'll be the only true action item. The rest of the stuff, we have not had one of these in a very long time. It's going to be kind of an open discussion, what we used to call working meetings. Some of the commissioners have brought up some things that we haven't addressed in a while, such as economic developer, economic incentive packages that we have, city seal, city crest, possibly the Hope Week discussion, and et cetera. And then now addition, if that would be a good time for We Are Oglesby to come and want to discuss things live, that's a great opportunity for those kinds of things. So really looking forward to that. So that is all I have. There is some stuff that happened today that we are looking at. We are going to have an executive session. It wasn't printed off, so let me make sure I got the right exclusion. You got the right one? Got it. Okay. Is this one I'm going to read? Yeah. Going to executive session for the collective negotiating matters between the public body and its employees or the representatives, or deliberations concerning the salary schedules for one or more classes of employees. 5 ILCS 120/2C2. Is it match? Hopefully, yes. Good deal. You get a motion to go into executive session.
I'll make a motion to go into executive session.
I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And there is no planned action items after executive session. So the other thing is for next week, or whoever has stuff throughout this week, we should give it to Becky sooner than later so to know what discussion items. Oh, I should have done that. Really invited the public to come in and talk about things if they're interested as well. Should have done that.
Shortish.
Back in open session, roll call, please.
Baldridge.
Here.
Conan.
Here.
McDermott.
Here,
Moyle.
Here,
Here. Again, next meeting, we will have a special meeting, so for any of those that are still paying attention, if they'd like to come and, talk about some of the discussion items, I'd like to welcome the public to make sure we can do that. Hopefully, we'll have lots of good things to talk about. Number 13 is adjournment. Can I get a motion to adjourn, please?
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call, please.
Baldridge.
Aye.
Conan.
Aye.
McDermott.
Aye.
Moyle.
aye.
Aye. We are adjourned.
It's off record. Here.
Oh, thank you.
I'm the one that's handicapped.
What are we getting now?
This is for the ones that I reviewing.
We're not actually applying